Hi, I'm Jay and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to go through all of my books and organize them. And I thought, wouldn't it be a good idea to, catch all of this on camera and have you be there with me, show you all my books, all my whips, all my finished pictures. So my collection has started growing since about mid 2015. That's when I started coloring, and I mean, I have never bothered, to keep track of what I had or which pictures I had already finished or which pictures I had started but abandoned. I have those phases where I'm really into coloring and then I stop for months and months, and I think I had about a year where I didn't color anything at all. And so, I have a general knowledge of the books I have and the pictures I've done. It's not, my collection isn't big enough to actually accidentally buy books twice or things like that. But I think I'm at the point where I feel that I should organize my collection better, especially when it comes to books I have pictures finished in or works in progress that I have stopped working on at some point. So, let's organize it together. I'm not the most organized person in the world. I'm actually pretty chaotic. So my organization method will be, very, very basic and consist of little tags. This is what I thought I would do. So red is, not necessarily a picture that I need to color next, but that really, was in my eye. And just give me a second, the cat wants on my lap. Well, or not. Where was I? Color next. So not necessarily color next, but you have those pictures where when you do a flip through a book, you go like, oh my god, this is a picture that I really want to do. So at least I want to mark them, or else you forget them when you then have to choose a picture, right? Yellow will mark works in progress, and blue will mark finished pictures. That should be easy to handle for me. Let's stick that like over here. I have a cup of tea ready. I don't know how long this will take. I'll just, start this. I'm pretty sure I will have to split this in several videos, but, let's see. I've never done this before. Absolutely. Okay, I'll just, start with my first stack that I have right next to me, and you saw already a couple of them. And I try to be a bit chronological with the books, but I think it'll stop at some point. But let's put them out of the picture, like so. Okay. Enchanted Forest and Secret Garden. One of those, I actually don't know which, is my first coloring book. Maybe I even got them at the same time. I cannot remember. But as so many people, Johanna Basford was the one that got me into coloring, and I really, really, to this day, love her style, and I have all her books. This is, I want to say, this is the UK edition with the flap, but obviously it is not. But this is. So I don't know. I generally get the issue that comes cheapest. So this is one of the first pictures I've ever done. I think back then I just got the first pencils I ever got, which is the Koh-i-Noor pencils, and I just tried them out. So where did I put the little flags? Oh, the chaos already begins. I suppose that goes for blue, right? I suppose it needs a background or something, but I'm calling this finished. For sure. Nope. I suppose, for first try, it's not as bad. It looks a bit faded, but I honestly think that's just because I had not yet figured out how to do layers and burnish and, just do bright colors. So let's see what I have in here. Yeah. This is also one of the first pictures I ever colored, and it might seem familiar to you, and it is because I followed a tutorial done by Peter Hewitt. On video she did a part of this to show how to shade leaves, and I try to follow the color scheme and the way she shaded as much as I could. I think she used Derwent Artist pencils and some Faber-Castell. And at this point, I think I already had some Faber-Castell pencils and also Marco Renoir. So I think that is what I used on this picture. Oop. Ja, kom hier, schat. Joko. Oep. And again, it looks a bit faded, right? But again, I don't think it was the pencils or the combination of the pencils, but just that I didn't yet know how to actually properly layer and burnish. And recently, because I liked this color scheme so much, and of course I couldn't redo this page, right? I went ahead and did this page with basically more or less the same color scheme. And I really enjoyed doing this. This was one of the first pictures where I just went, okay, what the heck, I can pick pencils myself, and I can shade myself, and I just can do this. I don't need to follow a tutorial, and this is how it turned out, and I'm pretty happy about this. I don't think it needs a second tag, does it? You will notice that I have those paper in between pages, and that's to protect them of like that printing of the color on the other page when you color the page. I think there has to be, oh yeah, see, finally, because of the page in between. And again, yeah, well, this I abandoned at some point. It's not quite as well known because Peter hasn't done a tutorial about it, I think, but I found this picture on her blog, and this is where I copied the colors off. And I really like how it turned out, but I didn't kind of want to copy the way she did the dragons and the arrows. I didn't like something about it. And I didn't have an idea on my own, so I just stopped working on it. But yeah, in general, I really like it. So this gets a yellow flag for work in progress, so that I can return to it when I feel like it. Otherwise I'll forget. As you see, I already forgot that I had done it. I really like this book. It is one of my favorites still, so I'm really glad that I got this. Oh, what have we here? Oh god, I can't even remember. I must have been bored and started to color. Ugh, I don't even want to call this book in progress. Oh well. Let's see what I have. Yeah, okay. So this seems to be the next one. And again, if this seems familiar to you, it's because I followed a tutorial done by Peter Hewitt. In general, especially in the earlier books, you'll see me following a lot of tutorials by Peter. Most of all because her tutorials are wonderful and she's just a wonderful woman, and if you don't know her for whatever reason, just go check her channel out. But also, I think back then, this was 2015, there wasn't much else out there. Today, of course, you can have a tutorial to almost all pictures on YouTube or wherever, but back then it was, mostly Peter who did them. So, I actually think this turned out pretty fine. I especially like how I managed to do the fish. So, call this finished. What was it? Look at that. It's not finished. Not finished at all. Oh my god. I've done this 3 years ago and I never noticed. Oh, this is so bad. Okay, this gets a yellow flag and I need to get on this ASAP. Oh my god. Huh. You never know. Then I had plans on doing the frog, but obviously it never materialized. Then I also did this picture. I really like how the color scheme turned out. I think I did it after I did the other one with the blue and yellow, and just took the same blues, I'm pretty sure, and then just added the bit of red and purple to give it a nice color. It's also one of my more recent ones. I think it's pretty easy to tell which are more recent or which are more new, but I like that you can see the progress we've made. And I think that's it for this book. Yep. And then we have Secret Garden. Yeah, again, I don't know which of the both of the books I got first, but it's certainly still one of my favorites. Has very dark yellow colored paper. I don't know whether this is just my edition or whether all of them have it, but I don't mind much. I did the name page. I don't usually do name pages in book, but apparently back then I did. I can't tell you with which pencils I used. I'm pretty sure it must have been Koh-i-Noor or Marco Renoir, because back then that's what I colored with. And again, you can barely call this a whip, can you? Oh my god, this so doesn't count. It smells so good of the book smell. Okay, I'm a bit handicapped because I have a cat on my lap. Just so you know why I seem to be a bit awkward. Okay. Oh, this is so pretty. I didn't even know this was in here. So I think this warrants a red. Oop. A tab. Hummingbirds. That's so sweet. This was still when some of the books did those activity things where you were supposed to add stuff with it, and I'm just bad at those things, so I don't like books that do it. I'm very glad that this really spaced out and stopped. Okay. Look at this one. I know that I followed a tutorial, or at least a how-to for this one. This is done, I'm pretty sure, in Prismacolors completely. And I think I followed a tutorial by Devlina Art. She does gorgeous work with Prismacolors, super bright and bold colors, and she has wonderful tutorials about coloring in Magical Jungle. And sadly, I think she doesn't color that much anymore. But again, why do I stop coloring that. I mean, it's not that. I mean, looking at that, why wouldn't I finish it? How would I be able to find out which colors I use for that? Well, I suppose that's not finished then, is it? See, it's a good idea that I organize my collection. And there's some on this side, but apparently I then ran out of interest. Maybe also because I don't want to do this and I didn't know what to do with the background. So let's stick this here. Let's put that back in. Let's see what we have. Oh, that's the peacock. It's one of those I've seen done so many times, but I think it always intimidated me. But I should really get on doing it. So, getting a red sticker. Maybe I was planning on doing it, judging by the stack of paper. That is this. Secret Garden. One of the next books I got is Lost Ocean. I think I started coloring right about when it released. So since I was so hooked on coloring already and really liked the style of Johanna Basford, I got this too. But as so many people have said, she really did a different style. It's way, way tinier than everything in her other books. And especially if you like coloring with colored pencil, it's way too tiny and too busy. So I mean, those are wonderful, but the illustration should be like 4 times bigger to be able to actually color this. So I actually haven't done much in this, even though in general I really like underwater scenes. So I don't know. And I've seen beautiful work with this. It's just, as soon as I see those busy, like, oh my god, look at this. There's busy pictures, I don't know. This is one I've seen so beautifully done by Sammy. She basically made a mosaic out of it in all kinds of colors. I really want to try at least that technique, if not with that picture. So yeah. So I think, I did this page just, I think when I got it, just to try it out. Very easy, just with a rainbow fish. Again, I can't tell you which pencils I've used because it's so long ago. I have a feeling it might have been Marco Renoir's because I recognize that blue as belonging to them. I think I did it in front of the TV just to try the book out, to get something in the book. Those nameplate pages I don't really count as a finished picture, but I mean, if you're strict about it, I think they are. Oh wait, this is the nameplate page. This is even just the title page. Here I think I've tried pastels out for the first time and tried to make it look like there were light coming into the water. Not quite as successful, I think. I don't know what that is supposed to be, but I thought it needed a bit of color. And I think that's it, what I did in here. Yep. It's so sad. I really, really wish she would do another underwater book like that and just, yeah, do it in a different style. Because I really like it, but not the way she did it here. And then The next book I got was Magical Jungle. And you can tell that because so many people complained about the style in Lost Ocean, she really went back and did lots of big spaces and lots of big leaves for those people who didn't like that. And this is for sure one of my favorite books of her. As you can see, I stopped coloring title and nameplate. This is one of my favorite pictures. I followed a tutorial again by Deflina Art, and I think the reason why this is one of my favorite books is because she has done so many wonderful tutorials, and I made so pretty pictures in this book. This is done with Prismacolors, and I still am bad with backgrounds, and because I enjoyed this picture so much, I didn't want to ruin it with one, and rather than risking it, I said to myself that I could come back and give it a background whenever I wanted. I think it kind of would look better with some color, but I'm calling this done. I mean, I can always go back and do it if it strikes me. And I really like this one so much. The colors are so gorgeous. And this is one of the next one I did. I saw a tutorial, I think she's called Judy Boove or something, I bet she's Dutch. And I changed the colors around a bit, but then I really didn't like how it looked, and I abandoned it. That's Julie's passion for color. I even wrote it down here. Those are the pencils I used, mostly Prismacolor. No, that can't be Prismacolor. I think that's Faber-Castell, just judging by the numbers. I think it's Faber-Castell. Polychromos, yeah, well. Well, I'm calling this, I suppose I call this a work in progress, but I have no... I think it just looks so boring, especially, if I have colored the first half, what do I do with the rest? I've seen people, do wonderful pictures down there, but since I absolutely am beyond talent free, it's nothing I will ever be able to do. Let's take that down. Let's see. I think this is the next one I did, and for this I followed a tutorial by Chris Cheng. Again, I think Chris Cheng has some like soft pastel-y background going on around it, but when I did it, it looked... I really didn't like how it looked. You can maybe see it here. It just... I'm bad with backgrounds, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, so I called it this way. Again, I think it would look better with a bit of, maybe a bit of pastel green around it, but I think it's fine. I really like how the little one turned out. It's pretty sweet. And Magical Jungle has so many pictures that are so pretty that I want to return to at some point. Oh, that's another. I think it's the same. This one I even abandoned. It really, when Chris Cheng does it, and it looks wonderful, but I really don't like how just it's not burnished, and it's just suddenly it stops and it doesn't fade out well, and oh my god, I really don't like it, so I just stopped doing it at some point. I don't even want to call it a work in progress. I suppose I have to. Come on. Well, this is. I have way more works in progress than I thought I would. think I want to do one of those next, because when I don't usually like those mirror style images, because I feel they're so boring. After you colored the first half, then you've done all of it. But after I did that, there's 2 pages in Enchanted Forest, I really enjoyed how they turned out. So yeah. Should I stick something on it? Maybe I also like those pages so much because you don't really have to do a background. So that I remember to color this. Then I did this one. And again, as you can maybe tell by the color choices, this is a tutorial I followed by Devlina art. And it for sure is one of my favorite pictures. It's all done in Prismacolor. Also, the background is. I usually don't use pencils for backgrounds because I think it's a bit wasteful. But I can't argue with that. It really looks good. So, this is finished. Finally, a finished one. And this one, yeah, you can see why I don't do backgrounds, can't you? I would bet that this is also one I followed a tutorial by Devlina art, and apparently I did this in July. I have no recollection of doing this. And I really liked the flowers, and then the background happened. I don't know. It's just, I don't even know what to say about that. It's splotchy and it's not even, and I don't even like the color. Don't think it harmonizes well with the rest of the picture. No, well, it's not the worst in here. The worst is yet to come. Magical Jungle has a couple of one-sided pictures in the back that are perforated and that you can take out, which I think is wonderful. Unfortunately, the pictures she chose for those aren't really ones I like to do. I mean, that one is really sweet. I think I might, but this one I've no interest in coloring just one thing on a page because the page is so empty and I wouldn't know what to do with the rest. This is just mandala type that I don't like. But I did this one. And I really liked how it turned out. Again, I'm pretty sure it's a Devlina art tutorial. And again, as with the other pictures, she does a background with pencils. And I thought it took too long and it felt so wasteful. And also, if you have to cover big spaces, then it's very, very hard to get pencils to look even. So I was like, hey, I just got pan pastels, so why not use them? Yeah, and that's what happens if you do that. I think I was so unhappy I didn't even fix that down, because I thought I could maybe at some point erase all of this. I don't know. Maybe I should just rub out the yellow and then just fill the blue in with the pencil like Devlina did. I don't know. Ugh, I'm so unhappy with this. Yeah. But I like this book so much that I have a second copy of it, just in case, because this is really one of my favorite books. Around the same time, I also got Johanna's Christmas. And I just, always return to this every Christmas. And it's a bit different because the pictures are all one-sided and perforated like in the Magical Jungle. And yeah, that happens when I think, hey, I know how to color berries, and then I color the berries and get bored. I don't even want to call that work in progress. I mean, that's just not enough work done to be, in progress, I would say. I've seen this done so prettily. Of course, it's after Christmas, so I'm not really in a Christmas mood. But if I am, then these pictures are really wonderful. This one I really just started when I got a bit bored and thought I had a good combination going. This seems to be Prismacolor. No, the actual Prismacolor, judging by the numbers. I was had the presence of mind to actually write them down. Maybe I'll come back to it, or maybe I won't, I don't know. No. The point is to stick tags in here now. I bet when I go back in editing I see all the pictures where I forgot to actually put tags in because I talk too much. Oh, this one is one I really liked. I think it was a Chris Chang tutorial, and again the background is done with pencils, which I try not to, but you can't argue with how nice it turns out. And I got a little like a circle tool, this one, to make all the little circles, and it turns out so nice. I think I like it so much. I did it a year ago, I think. And again, oh, wait. See, that's why my collection isn't organized, because the organization part is too hard. And again, this is something I wouldn't even call work in progress, but I think it's something you can come back to whenever you just want to color something small. And this one, I think I had a tutorial too that I tried to follow, and I really disliked what happened with the background so much that I stopped doing it. But I think I could salvage it somehow, and I think it would detract from the background if you actually had some gold or something going on there. I just need to come back to it at some point. I really like Johanna Basford's hearts. Just let me stick a red one here to remind me that I really should come back to this. I think that's it. Oh no! Another work in progress. I think I stopped working on the circle because the circle on the what's it called, flamingos in Magical Jungle turned out so bad. So I was just like, no, I like how this looks. I won't continue with that. I think it's another Chris Chang tutorial I followed here. But that should be it for this book. I also got, when it was released, Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, because I really like the idea, and I really like, Johanna Basford, if you haven't been able to tell yet, right? But for something in this book, really, I don't know, I haven't done anything in it yet, even though I really like most of the illustrations. I really like that she started doing those little sectioned off ones, and this one, for example, looks like one that's right out of Magical Jungle, right? Oh no, Enchanted Forest. And they're so sweet, and some of them are really small, so you could just get them done quickly, but I don't know, something... Maybe I feel that if I start this, I really have to continue on with this, because it is one work. You couldn't just, pick one picture out of the middle and color it, and then only part of the story would be colored. I don't know, something's... I'm very glad to have it, and I enjoy all the... Yeah, I'm very glad to have it, and I enjoy having all the pictures and to look at, and I have seen so many wonderful things done with the pictures in this book. But I don't know. I actually think that this might be something that I will leave. apparently the cat likes it too. Oi. This is something I will leave and maybe do it, I don't know, for a kid. I've seen people who do this for their grandkids, and I think that's such a sweet idea. Maybe I will do that. The last Johanna Basford one, and I think the last one for this batch, because the cat is really getting annoyed with me shoveling all the books around and wants to have her cuddle, is World of Flowers. And I think World of Flowers is my favorite Johanna Basford one and one of my favorite coloring books in general. I mean, I suppose people who like Johanna Basford and her style like it because of the flowers and the plants and the whimsical way she portrays them, and this is just a culmination of her skill, of her growing skill. I enjoy that you can see the way she starts working and having ideas and incorporating ideas into her work, and World of Flowers is really just a combination of all of it. I like it very much. And I can't even say I want to color all of them. I really want to color all of those pictures. So I can't even stick a red sticker on there because that would detract from the rest of the pictures, right? So the first one I've done in here is this one. And this was a Chris Cheng tutorial I followed. And I enjoyed this very much because I think I did each in one night and was really quick to do because they're all small, and it was easy to do the backgrounds like this, and really enjoyed this. It's done with Prismacolor. Then I did this one, and see, and again, I got to stick down the stickers. This is an organize with me video after all, right? Good. This is done. Then I did this one, and I keep thinking it might need a background, something ochre, very light ochre, beige color maybe. This is done completely with Pablo's, and the idea is, I don't know whether you can tell, to go in the colors of the rainbow and do complementary color scheme. So each vase has the complementary colored flower, like yellow has purple and green has red and blue has orange, and so on and so on. Makes the page a bit busy. But if you know that there is a plan behind it, then it gets okay-ish. What I really liked about this page is that I found out this color combination in the Pablos that makes the blue really pop. Really like this. So whenever I had to freely choose, like here, which colors to choose, I always choose that one. Chose that one. I really need to give it a background. So let's give it a red flag so that I can come back and finish it. Let's see, I don't know, I think I've done one more in here. Yes, this one. For this one I followed a tutorial by Peter Hewitt, and I really like how this turned out. I really like the purple with the blue, with the yellow, and I even don't dislike the background so much. Peter used pencils for the background, but I used pen pastel, and this is done in Faber-Castell Polychromos. All of it. Really enjoyed that. I wrote down the color combination so that maybe I can come back and use it for something else. I think that's all of what I did in here. There's a fish in here that I really want to do. I saw an awesome orange one done by Julie's Passion for Coloring. So let's see whether I can find the fish and sticker. There it is. Sorry, this is really want to do this. So that's it for my Johanna Basford books, and that's the first part of my shelf. They sit at the very front because they are my favorite books. The cat, by the way, has decided to stop trying to be on my lap and now sits on top of my shelf and eyes what I do. So let's continue until she gets angry.